For years, we've heard the same message echoing from the top of the NBA. 82 games, 82 games, 82 games. Whether it was Adam Silver, Mark Tatum, or Joe Dumars, the message was clear. The full regular season matters. And this year, the league finally leaned into it. But what played out? It wasn't a smooth, well-balanced ending. It was absolute chaos. What was supposed to be a celebration of competitive balance turned into a complete mess for some of the league's biggest names. The final week of the regular season felt like the NBA flipped a switch. Everything went wild. Silver's dream of parity, where every team has a chance, was real. But it didn't just show up in the finals. It was happening night after night, from top seeds to play-in teams. And on the last day, we got a wild overtime game between the Warriors and Clippers. LA took the win, 124-119, and quietly reached 50 wins, tying with the Lakers and Nuggets for the third best record in the West. No big headlines, no hype, but they did it. The Clippers were supposed to be forgotten, a team with a history of falling short. But while everyone else was watching other storylines, Kawhi Leonard came back with something to prove. This team didn't just sneak in, they stalked their way through the standings and finished strong. But while the Clippers were rising, other teams were falling apart in ways no one saw coming. Take the Denver Nuggets, the defending champions. Out of nowhere, they fired their head coach, Michael Malone, and GM Calvin Booth, just days before the playoffs. It was shocking. No one expected that kind of shakeup from a top team. Even crazier, Memphis had already done the same thing, letting go of Taylor Jenkins. And these weren't lottery teams making desperate changes. These were 50-win teams, and they still weren't safe. The pressure to win right now has completely changed how front offices operate. And then there's Golden State. The Warriors were on pace for 50 wins. Everything looked fine. Until it wasn't. A brutal, unexpected loss to the Spurs, one of the league's worst teams, and then another loss to the Clippers. Suddenly dropped them into the play-in tournament. Now, their entire season is on the edge. If they lose to the Grizzlies and then fall to whoever wins between the Kings and Mavericks, it's over. No playoffs. No step. No chance at a last run with this core. It's a tragic end for a team that just couldn't close the deal when it mattered most. And this is what it looks like when every single one of them counts. And nowhere was that more clear than in the play-in, where the stakes are brutal and the margin for error is razor thin. The Atlanta Hawks and Miami Heat stepped into the play-in tournament knowing this was their last shot. One game to keep the season alive. One game to avoid elimination. The winner would take the 8th seed and move on to face the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first round of the playoffs. The loser, sent home. No second chances.
Mitchell, jumper! Oh yeah!
And in the end, the Hawks became the unfortunate headline. If you're enjoying the video so far, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow and keeps you in the loop for more content like this. In a high-stakes, high-drama matchup, the Miami Heat made history, becoming the first 10th seed in NBA history to make it to the actual playoffs. They outlasted Atlanta in overtime, winning 123-114 in front of a stunned crowd. It was gritty, it was emotional, and it was a statement. This marks the third year in a row the Heat have gone through the play-in, and for the third straight time, they're in the playoffs.
Hero steps into the three, bottom.
He didn't just throw it in, located his teammates in a nice lead.
Tyler Hero was the heartbeat of the win, dropping 30 points and drilling 2 cold-blooded three-pointers in overtime. Bam Adebayo stuffed the stat sheet with 17 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5 blocks, showing exactly why he's the anchor of this team.
7 to shoot. Hero, Mitchell, again! Davion Mitchell is lethal!
And off the bench, Davion Mitchell made big plays when they needed it most, finishing with 16 points and 4 threes. After the game, head coach Erik Spoelstra spoke from the heart. "I know how badly our group wanted to get into this thing. I could see it in their eyes and feel it in their heart." Now, Miami heads to Cleveland for a heavyweight clash with the top-seeded Cavaliers. As for Atlanta, their season ends in heartbreak. They had one final shot to turn things around, and they let it slip away. They're not alone in that heartbreak. The Dallas Mavericks season ended the same way, with crushed hopes and a brutal 120-106 loss to the Memphis Grizzlies in the final play-in game. But this wasn't just a loss. It felt like the whole season collapsed in one night. And speaking of collapses, Anthony Davis came out swinging. 40 points, 9 rebounds, pushing through pain like a warrior. But by the fourth quarter, his body gave out. He limped off with a leg injury, tried to fight through it, but couldn't finish. That was the dagger. From the very start, Memphis set the tone. They blitzed Dallas in the first quarter.
In the quarter, Williams into the front court, weaving through traffic, gets downhill and scores as the buzzer sounds. 5-3.
39-24, and never looked back. Transition buckets, relentless pace, and total control. Dallas never even held a lead. Sure, the Mavs had a moment, a fiery 17-2 run that stretched across halftime, giving fans just a glimpse of hope. They clawed their way back, nearly cutting the lead down to 4. Nearly. But one missed three-pointer flipped the momentum. In an instant, that spark turned into silence. Memphis didn't just respond, they slammed the door shut. And here's the wild part. Ja Morant wasn't even supposed to play. A sprained ankle had him listed as doubtful just days ago. But he suited up anyway, laced up, and played like nothing was wrong. He dropped 22 points and 9 assists, slicing through the defense like it was nothing. Jaren Jackson Jr. was a force inside with 24 points, while Desmond Bane added 22 of his own. The Grizzlies played fast, free, and fearless, like a team with absolutely nothing to lose and everything to prove. Meanwhile, the Mavericks, they looked lost. This team traded Luka Doncic mid-season. Kyrie went down with a knee injury. They brought in AD for one last push, and he delivered. But it just wasn't enough. They went 7-15 since March 1st. They limped into the play-in and limped out. Coach Jason Kidd said it best. Some would say we shouldn't even be there. So give those guys in that locker room a lot of credit. But effort doesn't erase results. Dallas is done. Memphis moves on. They'll face the top-seeded Thunder in the first round, a team that swept them in the regular season. But as Jaren Jackson Jr. said, a series is a series. It doesn't matter until it's over. Oh, and one more twist? With the Grizzlies making the playoffs, their first-round pick for 2025 drops out of the lottery, which means the Wizards just won big. Thanks to the Marcus Smart trade, Washington now owns that pick. They've got a top 6 pick, another likely in the 18 to 20 range, and a second-rounder in this draft. For a team that finished 1864, this could be the spark they need. But for Dallas, this was the end. A brutal, tragic ending to a season that once held so much promise.
Mitchell, jumper! Oh yeah! Davion Mitchell! Oh.
Were the NBA's 82 games worth the madness, or did it just set the stage for chaos? The unpredictability of this season has shown that nothing is guaranteed, not even for the strongest teams. From dramatic collapses to incredible comebacks, the stakes have never been higher. Drop your thoughts in the comments. This season is far from over, and the playoffs are just getting started. Don't miss any of the action. Hit that subscribe button and stay locked in for more. The madness continues.